And last week we heard that the Washington Wizards have agreed to move their franchise over to Alexandria, Virginia, and out of downtown DC. And what this means is that their ownership group in Monumental Sports Entertainment, led by Ted Leonosis, has agreed to a deal with the governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, to play over in Alexandria, Virginia, which is across the Potomac River. And for people that are not familiar with the DMV area, it's basically like the Golden State Warriors leaving Oakland for the San Francisco area. Yes, it's across the bay, and the Golden State Warriors has always represented the Bay Area. It's just different. It's leaving their original city, and now the Wizards are kind of doing that. I feel like they'll still be called the Washington Wizards. It'd be really strange to say the Virginia Wizards, and we all know how problematic that would sound, especially them being a southern state. But nonetheless, in terms of just a fan standpoint, it is a sucky situation, let's be honest. I mean, downtown DC isn't anything spectacular, don't get me wrong, but it is something where it's like the middle ground in the DMV of the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. And now it's moving to one of the more extremes of that area, and it's just a little bit more inconvenient. It's harder to get to, and I feel like there's some pushback from local Alexandrians as well, where they're not big fans of this because it's going to bring in more traffic. It's going to kind of change life, and it might be for the good for an economic standpoint, but convenience wise, there's a lot going down there. I mean, there is the Reagan National Airport that is already something that gets very congested, and you see with a basketball game adding on to it, it's going to exacerbate the problems. That new facility, it looks great, don't get me wrong, it's very modern, but I never even saw the need for it. I mean, I think Capital One is a pretty solid arena, and it's in a pretty good localized central location to all three participants or all three components of the DMV area, and it's just kind of sad to see. But I feel like personally, if anything, the Washington Wizards should remain in Washington, D.C.